Now, in Sudan, police have fired tear gas at hundreds of mourners. They were attending the funeral in Khartoum of a student allegedly killed by security forces. Abaker Mussa Idris was shot at a protest against the violence in Darfur. Mourners called for the downfall of President Omar Al Bashir and his government. Let's speak to our reporter Mohammed Adow, who's on set with me and has covered Sudan for a long time now. So another crisis for President Bashir. Tell us more about these protests.
Yes, Shirley, let's start with what happened today. Hundreds of mourners attending the funeral of that student who was killed by security forces turned the funeral into a demonstration calling for a revolution and the removal of the government of President Omar Al Bashir from power. And that is when the police fired tear gas at them. The police seem to have been more restrained than they were yesterday, when they're said to have fired live ammunition into crowds of protesting students who were protesting about escalating violence in Darfur.
Yet another crisis, as we've said. President Bashir, he seems to have had several challenges of late. How high does this rank as a challenge for him? Does he still have legitimacy?
Well, Bashir has survived so many other challenges, including sanctions and economic problems. And even right now,
he's lost a lot of his oil production because of South Sudan.
Absolutely. Most of the oil fields that are currently productive have gone to South Sudan. The oil revenue forms up the biggest part of the government's resources, and they don't have enough, and that's one of the reasons why they have slashed subsidies, which has caused more anger against the people. So what you're seeing, the demonstrations that are happening right now, is not just about Darfur, it's not just about the longevity of the president's rule, it's also about economic problems that people are facing, and whether he's going to survive this is everyone's case, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Just one question about the security forces. The student who died today, said to be killed by security forces. Amnesty International is saying security forces have been excessively violent, even against peaceful demonstrations. I mean, you know the area, you know what goes on there. Would you agree with that?
It's a tendency of the Sudanese forces to usually use live rounds. It happened during the last round of demonstrations in September, when people were demonstrating against the removal of fuel and food subsidies. More than 200 people are believed to have died in September last year. So it's one of those ways that they try to break up demonstrators, not only in Khartoum but also in other parts of the country. So I would say, according to human rights groups like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, they say that the Sudanese army have always been high-handed and heavy-handed whenever they're doing it.
Mohammed, good to speak with you as ever. Thank you very much indeed for your analysis there, Mohammed Adow.